Okay, so we're going to do a little sequence to open up the upper body. We're going to start just with a little pelvic roll. So this is where we're rolling onto the back of our sitting bones. And we can feel this kind of softness through the front of the chest. And then we're rolling forward onto the front of our sitting bones, almost as if we're doing a forward fold over the hips. So I'd like you just to alternate between these two positions, finding a little bit of movement through the hips. Then we're going to bring this into a seated cat-cow. So as we roll back onto the back of the sitting bones and soften the chest, we're going to bring our gaze towards our belly. And then to bring ourselves up, we're going to bring our gaze along the mat, up through the carpet and up towards the wall in front. Just coming up to eye height. So I'm feeling a little lift through the chest. And then bringing our gaze back down. Back to the belly and curling the back. Just alternating between those two positions. Keeping the elbows soft and bent. And see if you can get into a little rhythm with the breath here. So we can exhale as we roll back onto our sitting bones. Inhaling as the chest comes forward and up. And I'd like you to allow that movement to get a little bit smaller. So we're just returning to this rolling through the sitting bones, rolling back a little bit behind that midline, that center line, and then rolling forward. And then as we make this movement even smaller, then we find a point where we are sitting centrally over the sitting bones and feel a lightness through the spine. We're going to bring our hands to our chest. We're going to inhale, raising the arms, exhaling out in a big circle, really taking time to enjoy that spaciousness across the chest. We're going to do 2 more of these. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Just allow your hands to rest on your thighs. Take a breath. Just notice how that feels in the body, maybe closing your eyes for a moment. Maybe that felt quite energizing to raise the arms and find that space across the chest. And gently opening your eyes, we're going to do a little movement for the neck. So we're going to allow the ear to come towards the shoulder. One shoulder, doesn't matter which. Feeling the tops of the shoulders relax. And then just doing a little nodding movement. Forward and back. And then the next time that chin comes forward, we're going to allow it to roll all the way forward. So it's resting on the chest. And bring your mind's eye to some Little muscles deep within the back of the neck. Can you release there? Having a sense of releasing deep within the neck. And then we're going to allow our head to roll over to the other shoulder. Moving into the sternocleidomastoid muscle that runs all the way down the side of the neck. Works pretty hard to support the head because the head's pretty heavy. Just giving that muscle a little massage. With these little rolling, nodding movements of the head. And then bringing your head back to center. We're going to bring the arms out in front. And we're going to do a little rotation of the hands. But this movement is moving deep into the shoulders. So the whole of the arm is moving. And we're going to start to bring that movement out to the side. And the palms are facing up. Can we feel that breadth across the collarbones? Across the tops of the shoulders. And then with palms raised, let's find some support through our feet. Pressing into the feet. You may need to move the position of your feet to find that contact. Pressing into the feet, drawing into the hips, drawing up through the sides of the waist. Extending into your fingertips and then raising those arms up. Can you feel this lift from the waist to the armpit, armpit to the elbow? And then with soft elbows, we're going to move from side to side, extending into one arm and then the other. Finding some space through the sides of the body. And then bringing those arms back down. Hands resting on the thighs. Close your eyes for a moment and allow any sensations, any tension that you've released from the shoulders just to drain away through the feet. Feeling that exhalation sinking down into your belly, so you've got a sense of heaviness through the sitting bones as you sit on the chair. Just allowing that energy to settle. Noticing how we're feeling, how we're breathing. Noticing that support from the chair and from the floor. And then gently open your eyes. We're going to do a movement for the upper body through moving the shoulders, but we're not just moving the shoulders, we're moving the whole of the torso. So we're going to be lifting one shoulder up towards the ear and then releasing down. So keep your head where it is and have the shoulder come and meet the head rather than tilting the head towards the shoulder. And then bringing that shoulder back to center, we're going to do this little movement where the hand rolls out. You can feel this through the pectoral muscle at the side of the chest. And then we're rolling forward. And we've got a little bit of that cat-cow movement that we were doing right at the start coming into this. We can do that little move of the spine as we come from one position to the other. And then come back to center. Take a breath. I'm going to put all of those movements together. So coming up and back and down, and really reaching down towards the floor. You'll feel the other shoulder lift. Rolling that shoulder forward, coming up. And just continuing that cycle of movement, but this isn't just the shoulder that's moving. The whole of the upper body is following. And then bringing yourself back to center. I'm going to do the same movements on the other side. So I'm just going to spin around so you can see me. Now draw that shoulder up towards the ear. Remember, your shoulders moving to your head rather than your head leaning to the side. Releasing the arm down. Bring the shoulder back to center. And then we're going to explore that pectoral muscle. So my thumb is moving out as my palm turns to the side. The shoulder opens. And I'm rolling forward. And I'm involving a little movement of the spine here too. So we've got that little roll of the cat-cow. And coming back to center, back to a neutral position. And then we're going to put those 4 rolls together. So up and back and down and forward, up and back and down. And we can allow the other side of the body to do the opposite. So as one shoulder comes up, the other goes down. Finding those 4 points up and back and down and forward. And coming back to center. Allow the breath to settle. And we're going to shuffle our bottom a little bit to one side. We're going to bring our hand onto the chair. We're going to inhale and raise the arm. Raise the arm once more and inhale. So really feel this lifting into the fingertips as you breathe in. Feeling that contact through the sitting bones as you breathe out. We're going to bring this into a little side bend. So we're going to inhale, reach up and over. And we can bend the elbow that's resting on the side of the chair. And then bringing that arm up and around. And we're going to shuffle over to the other side. Raising the arm. Inhaling, reaching into the fingertips, finding that lift and length as we exhale, fitting into the sitting bones. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, finding the floor, finding the chair. And then inhaling, exhaling over. Bending the other elbow. It's supporting you on the chair. And then bringing yourself back. We're going to use a block for the next movement. So we're going to have a block in front of us, and we're going to use this as a way to open the top of the chest. So when we come up into back arch sort of movements, we want to find this movement here at the breastbone and at the mid-thoracic spine, rather than doing lots of hinging from the lumbar spine, the lower back. So this is a movement that helps us focus on the upper back. We're going to inhale and raise the block. And we're going to allow our gaze to follow the block. We're going to continue to lift it so our gaze just stays at eye height, at head height. We're going to lift the breastbone, so lift the front of the body. And when the breastbone is no longer lifting, bending the elbows. And then drawing this block back by opening the armpits. And feeling that upper chest area start to open. We can find support through the feet, lifting up through the sides of the waist. And all that lift traveling up into our fingertips. So the lower back is fairly quiet. It's the upper back where we're finding this movement. And then bringing that block back down. We're going to pop our block to one side. We're going to do the same movement, this time without the block. So inhaling, lifting, feeling that lift through the front of the body, breastbone lifting, and then bending those elbows to find this space through the upper back. Lower back is quiet. Then we're going to bring our arms out into a V shape, extending into the fingertips. And then we're going to bend those elbows to bring the fingertips behind our head. And then from here, we're going to come into our cat-cow with our arms. So as we roll back onto the back of the pelvis, the elbows come in. And then we feel this lovely opening of the chest, that lifting through the front of the spine as the elbows come out. Finding that connection with our belly so that as these elbows start to come out, we're feeling a lift coming all the way up through from the belly to the armpit and then into the arms. And we'll release those arms and bring them down by our sides. Take a breath. We're coming right to the front of our chair. We're going to bring our feet into a wide stride. And we're going to come into what I call a swooping cat-cow. So we're rolling back and then we're rolling forward, folding over the hips, leading with the chest as we come up. And then bringing ourselves back to center. Take a breath. And then bring yourself up to standing. We're going to do one movement with the chair. We're going to be coming into a dog using the seat of the chair. So we're going to hold on to the side of the chair and we're going to walk ourselves back. We're going to do a movement of just bending one knee and then the other, just waking up the backs of the legs. And then straightening the legs. We can still have a little bend in the knee. And then we're going to deepen the bend of the knee. As we press into the floor, we're going to draw the tops of the thighs back. So the crown of the head is facing towards the chair seat. We can keep a little softness in our knees. And then we're going to bring our gaze up to the chair seat to feel this lift through the front of the chest. And then as we bring our gaze back down to the floor and the crown of the head facing towards the chair seat, see if you can feel a little inner rotation of the arms, as if the armpits are looking out to the side. And we're finding this breadth across the upper back. And then to bring ourselves up, we're going to walk towards the chair.